All right, any triumphs? Any success stories there?
She did good.
Anybody? Who did? Why? And what's your name? You just enjoyed it. But was there something, I'd like to hear from any of you, was there something that you learned that was a little creative from the 7 move? I saw you guys doing. You want to share that? Share it with the rest of us. It's really cute.
We were, I gave very little verbal instruction, but we were just kind of
Flowing with the music.
You went to the music.
Yeah, I went to the music.
You were
Started
sort of
like
doing
dancing.
Yeah, they started doing the 3rd and 4th movements, which is lateral flexion, and all of a sudden I looked over there and go,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, that makes people smile.
Yeah,
You know,
it
and
did.
if you're wanting to make, if you're wanting to make people
Absolutely.
have a happy time, go to the music.
It was fun.
Yeah. Anybody else had something that was interesting? Yeah. How about say, just to help me out, say your name, when you raise your hand, just say your name, so it's helping me.
Okay, I'm Elizabeth. But Linda, when she was describing to me, she was doing underwater, which really was really effective.
Could you say more about that?
Just kind of thinking about the resistance, like if you're in water, because I love to play in water, like with my hands, so it got wrists moving without really thinking about your wrists, and then we kind of went up. So it also kind of slows you down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's very mindful.
I love that. And so she was getting the 3rd and 4th movements of the spine
Yeah.
and adding that whole Cape Cod scene. Love that. Joseph.
So I'm Joseph. So I'm a man of using a lot of words, right? And I found that by not using any words, I had to really let go of every last thing that was inside me, whatever is there. And I was freaking out about what am I gonna do? How am I gonna say all these 7 movements? And I was just forget it. I know how to move my body all 7 ways. And it wasn't, I just was I have to go. And I know that she followed suit with what was there, and I was able to have a really great experience.
I paid him to say that.
But that's really what came out of it, because I was honestly freaking out. I'm still shaking.
Oh,
No,
I don't have to freak out on my watch. Because what's the worst that could happen?
Nothing.
You flub it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
no
we're here to
worries.
learn.
Yeah.
We're here to learn.
But that's just what goes on in the head, and
Yeah.
I just go and do it anyway.
Right.
But,
Yeah. But a little suffering, you didn't have to suffer.
no.
And I totally understand, 'cause I suffer. I still suffer too. But I don't want other people to suffer.
Yeah, no suffering.
I've been the sacrificial lamb my whole life, so I don't want anybody else to suffer.
But
That's
it was
great
so
though.
awesome.
Yeah.
And the second song just was perfect, and I felt like I moved to the music. That was
Excellent. I'm telling you, it's really, it's so funny. It's hilarious when I'm doing Let Your Yoga Dance teacher training, which Diane was just doing. She was there last week for the training. And I always say, the yoga teachers sometimes have a harder time learning this practice that I do than the newbies, because they have to unlearn all the talking.
Yeah.
I don't want them to say, press the 4 corners of the feet, press the blah, 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 and I do it too. I teach yoga, so I'm not saying it's bad. But I also know that when I'm working with special population, they don't need that much. It's too hard, it's too cerebral, everything goes up in the head, and they forget that they have these amazing feet. And if I put a pair of a block or a cushion underneath somebody's feet for the first time, they go, why didn't I know that I could just put my feet, those little beautiful blocks bring the earth up. That's so good for you. Excellent. You had something.
Well, I was just going to say what you just said.
Oh, sorry.
Michelle and I were just talking about how it does that. It just brings it completely out of your head, completely into your body. And the other thing that I loved about it, there's a connection that you can't help but have with the other person that you're watching, because it's unspoken. You can't describe it. It just happens. And it's just that it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was like a dance.
It wasn't like one.
Darn it.
Yeah.
It was.
Yoga.
Yeah.
And the hardest part for me with teaching, I don't really teach regular yoga classes, whatever they are, is the speaking and moving at the same time. I prefer not to speak. And then we work with people who don't understand a lot of language. And they get your body language. They get that.
The body never lies.
Right.
That's what Martha Graham taught. The body never lies. It's the mind that has
It's one
problems.
less sense that you have to pay attention to that one extra piece, so you're free to pay attention to all the other ones.
Can I ask a favor when we do share? I mean, you know, I'm not gonna make you share all afternoon, but I love I statements. So this is the sign language for I. So you could just say I rather than you, because sometimes people don't have the same experience. So it's like, when you feel this way, it's like, well, I don't feel that way. You know? So just make it really about you with the word I. Does that make sense? Did I make any sense? Okay. Anybody else had something that was interesting? Yeah.
Kaylee, and Melissa was my teacher, and she just made it very fluid, so it was way more enjoyable. You could get into yourself and enjoy the whole.
Into myself.
Into myself,
Yeah,
I can get
see,
into
that's
myself,
fine.
yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So your fluidity was
Yes.
something that was really useful.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the
Right.
beat.
Great. Yeah. We're not training people to be members of the New York City Ballet here, right? We're just trying to have people have what?
That was good though.
It's like the ballet of their life, though.
Oh, it's the ballet of their life, yeah. And so, again, I have found that less is more.
Mhm.
You know, I don't, and to actually let my body and that music and the breath, body movement, the body, music, and breath, lead the way. And they're looking and seeing and feeling, and that's enough. I'm not saying you can't say anything, but boy, and again, certain populations will be really grateful. You know, if language is not their forte, then just having, again, body, breath, and music will be fantastic, okay? So let's move on, and I think I paid you to say your sharing just then, about water.
Oh.
About water, so we're moving into the second chakra, and what's that one all about?
Emotion.
What's it, huh?
Emotions.
Emotions, yeah. What else?
Sexuality.
Sexuality, sensuality. It's also about water. It's also about water. So I'm gonna put on a song that's very watery, if I can find the darn thing. Where is that music? Okay, this is fun. Okay, let's hear that. All right.